You are a football fan, and football is all about passion and all about fun. But when you get past all of that, it's all about the numbers. Cold, hard football facts on Football Nation. Hi, everybody. I'm Butch Stearns. Kerry Byrne alongside. Kerry, it is all about the numbers. Your numbers that correlate to victory.
Yep.
You got a lot of them to back up your Houston Texans right now.
Well, you know, we were high on the Texans at the end of last year. Of course, they lost their quarterback, Matt Schaub. The reason we think they didn't win the Super Bowl at the end of the year, number one in our quality stats power rankings. We predicted them to win the Super Bowl. This year, right out of the gate, second week of the season, they're number one again in our quality stats power rankings, picking up where they left off, doing, especially defensively, a lot of things well.
All right, so let's look after 2 weeks at your power rankings, and they're right at the top, and let's look at the guys, the teams that are at the top.
Well, the most interesting one right now is number 5, the St. Louis Rams. They had a tough game in week 1, losing to the Lions, beat RG3 and the Washington Redskins, who came in with so much hype in week 2. Sam Bradford, number 4 right now in real quarterback rating, paired with a good coach. Maybe he's going to finally get to the next level. Number 4, Baltimore Ravens, still living off the laurels a bit of that week 1 win. Number 3, San Diego, who looked real good, blew out Tennessee. Number 2, Atlanta. I think we saw Atlanta how good they can play on Monday night. Then number 1, our Houston Texans.
So when you look at, after 2 weeks, the top 5, is it too early to start seeing some trends with your numbers?
No, absolutely. Usually by about week 4, the trends really jump out. We see that year after year.
Like the Niners last year.
Like the Niners last year, definitely jumped out by week 4. But we do, when the trends right now early on confirm what we suspect, particularly with the Texans, then we kind of say, hey, listen, what they're doing right now is what we expected, and we expect them to continue. And again, especially defensively, this defense is phenomenal, and they're just shutting people down. Granted, not great competition so far, but they're really shutting people down.
Yeah, and when I look at the numbers for defense, which you're going to go over here, they are dominating. It is predictable. They were number 1 last year. But again, they played against Ryan Tannehill and Blaine Gabbert.
Absolutely, but if you look, Tannehill had a great game, and each of those quarterbacks played well. In the one game they didn't play against the Texans. But look at those numbers down the road. Those two teams have converted 10% of their third downs. They've only averaged 8.5 points per game. They average under 4 yards every time they drop back to pass, those two opponents. By the way, 19 teams give up a higher average on the ground this year, Butch. That is a lights-out pass defense.
Yards per attempt?
Than that yards per attempt against passing yards per attempt against the Texans. That's a lights-out defense.
So the Houston defense, the Houston team is number 1 in the CHFF power rankings after 2 weeks, and CHFF has them heading to the Super Bowl. We'll see if it happens. Cold, hard football facts on Football Nation.